Are you trying to learn modern calligraphy but really struggling? In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 calligraphy beginner mistakes and how to fix them. Okay, so let's just dive right in. The first mistake is not learning the basic calligraphy strokes. If you're totally new to calligraphy and you have no idea what I'm going on about, in calligraphy, the letter forms are made up of individual strokes or calligraphy drills. If you learn these and build up the muscle memory, then you will find it so much easier to do your alphabet and create beautiful words. So if you've been trying to do letters and they don't look quite right, then just take a step back, go right back to the basics and learn the calligraphy drills. They also teach you where to put the thick and thin lines, so if that's something that you're really struggling with as well, then I highly recommend learning the calligraphy drills. You can check out the linked video here for how to do calligraphy drills. I also have a free 7-day drills challenge. When you sign up, you'll get access to a workbook and loads of really helpful video tutorials to help you through learning your drills. Oh, and it's totally free. So I'll leave a link for that in the description below if that's something that you're interested in signing up to. Number 2 is not taking your pen off the paper. If you're trying to do calligraphy like this, then stop. This is cursive writing and not calligraphy. Lucky for you, if you are learning the drills or you're going to go ahead and learn the drills now after point 1, then you will find that you'll naturally start to lift up your pen after each stroke. So you'll build up that muscle memory and you'll just do it without even thinking about it. If you are struggling to remember to do this, a fun little exercise I like to do is actually changing my pen colour, and that reminds me to lift my pen off the paper because I literally have to lift it up, put it down and pick up a new pen. If you don't consistently lift your pen off the paper and readjust yourself for each stroke, then you'll find that you end up sitting really awkwardly, which is something we really don't want when we're doing calligraphy. That leads really nicely onto mistake number 3, which is your pen and paper position. Time and time again, I've seen my students holding their pen in the wrong position or having their paper in the wrong position, which in turn makes them sit really awkwardly, and it's really uncomfortable to do calligraphy and difficult to create the individual strokes. It's important to ensure that you do have your pen and paper in the right position to help you create consistent, beautiful letters. So when it comes to holding a brush pen, you want to hold it higher than you would with a normal pen. On the Pentel brush sign pens, I love the little notch as a guide to help you with that. This then means that you can hold your pen at a 45-degree angle to the paper, and you can then use the side of the nib to create the thick lines and then lift off slightly to create thin lines. In terms of paper, I'm right-handed, which means that I tend to twist my paper slightly anti-clockwise, and this gives me a good, comfortable position to do my calligraphy strokes. If you want to create more slanted calligraphy strokes, then all you need to do is twist your paper even more and you can get a more italic look. Or if you want them more upright, you just twist it back the other way. For left-handed people, it's worth experimenting what's comfortable to you because I'm aware that lots of different left-handed people write in different ways. Now, I actually did my 7-day drills challenge recently with my left hand, and I discovered that actually having my paper at the same angle as I do when I'm right-handed worked really well for me. It took a lot of getting used to writing in a slightly different way. I was pushing across my body rather than pulling across. Like, hands up to left-hand calligraphers out there because it did feel a little bit awkward. Obviously, I'm not left-handed myself, so that's probably partly why it made it feel a little bit awkward. Mistake number 4 is going too fast. Calligraphy is not a race. It's a really lovely, calming hobby. It's great for mindfulness. So why are you rushing? If you're struggling to form your letters and transition from thick to thin lines, you're probably going too fast. So slow down. When you go slowly, you have more time to think about the strokes that you're creating and when to transition between the thick and thin lines. The 5th mistake is using more advanced calligraphy tools. Throughout this video, I've been using the Pentel brush sign pen. This was the first pen I ever bought and it's my absolute favourite brush pen, especially for beginners. I have seen far too many times people struggling to create letters, and normally it's because they're using a brush pen with a much larger nib, so something like the Tombow dual brush pen. or they're trying to do calligraphy with a dip pen, and that can feel really overwhelming because there's a lot of different things to think about when it comes to using a dip pen for modern calligraphy. I'll tell you a secret, I didn't really like the Tombow dual brush pen for quite a few years. It wasn't until I became more confident with my calligraphy and I had built up that muscle memory that I could use larger brush pens like the Tombow dual brush pen, and now I love it. Brush pens in general are great for learning because it means you don't have to worry about inking up the nib, getting any random ink splodges anywhere, so they are a really valuable tool for learning modern calligraphy. I particularly suggest using a smaller brush pen because it is much more similar to what you're used to writing with, whether you write with a biro, a fountain pen or a pencil. With a larger brush pen, you're having to write the letters a lot bigger and therefore it feels a little bit awkward and strange. With a smaller brush pen, it feels a bit more normal and natural. The two brush pens that I really recommend for beginners are the Pentel Brush Shine Pen and the Tombow Fudinowski. So those are 5 common modern calligraphy mistakes that beginners tend to do. Let me know in the comments if you've been doing any of these. If you want to improve your calligraphy skills and learn how to create consistently beautiful letters, then why not sign up to my 6-week calligraphy course, Better Brush Letters Basics for Beginners. It's a 6-week course, and in it we cover lowercase letters, uppercase letters, connecting letters, numbers and punctuation, and in the final week we have some fun creating some final projects with the new calligraphy skills that you've learned. You'll get to learn alongside a community of other lovely students, which is so exciting, and you'll also get a discount code for Under the Rowan Trees, which is one of my favourite stationery shops for buying all of my calligraphy supplies. When you sign up, you'll get lifetime access to the course. So that means you'll get access to over 5 hours worth of video tutorials and also the workbook. And I'll always be on hand to give advice and tips throughout the time you're doing the course. I'll leave the link in the description below for that. I'd absolutely love you to join. I've taught so many students now and it just makes me so happy seeing how much people improve. If you found this video helpful, then make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more tutorial and review videos, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!